lived in her whole life to the northwest corner of the country, where it rains more often than not. Of course, I said I'd support her no matter what. It was a great opportunity for her, and I didn't want to be the reason she didn't take it. I'm just not sure that moving from Texas to Washington State is all that great an opportunity for me. Mom parks the car and eyes the house through the windshield. 2 stories high, a front porch with an ancient-looking porch swing that looks like it couldn't support a baby's weight. In the pictures online, the house looked white, but in real life, it's gray, except for the front door, which someone decided to paint bright red. Maybe they thought the contrast would look cheerful or something. You can't tell a house is creepy from the outside, Mom adds hopefully. Yes, I can. How? The same way I can tell that those jeans you bought before you left Austin will end up hanging in my closet instead of yours. I'm very, very intuitive. Mom laughs. Our little white dog, Oscar, whines from the back seat, begging to be let out so he can explore his new home. As soon as Mom unlatches her seatbelt and opens the door, he bounds outside. I stay in the car a second longer, breathing in the wet air blowing in. It's not just the house. Ever since we crossed the state line, the world has been gray, shrouded in fog so thick that Mom had to turn the headlights on even though it was the middle of the day. I didn't picture our new life in Washington as quite so colorless. To be honest, I didn't picture it much at all. Instead, I kind of pretended the move wasn't happening, even as our house back in Austin filled with boxes, even when my best friend, Ashley, came over to help us pack. It wasn't until we were actually on the road that I really believed we were moving. Our new house is on a dead-end street, backed up against an enormous, fog-drenched field. Each of the houses we passed before we turned into our driveway was about 2 sizes too small for the size of its yard. I guess these are the kind of neighbors who want nothing to do with one another. There wasn't a single kid playing in his front yard, not a single dad getting ready to barbecue tonight's dinner, and the street was littered with pine needles from the towering Douglas firs that block out any semblance of daylight. An ugly rusted chain-link fence wraps around our new yard. Judging from the little I've seen so far, I'm pretty sure that the whole flippin' town of Ridgemont, Washington, is creepy. I mean, what could be creepier than a place at the foot of a mountain where the sky is gray even in the dog days of summer? And if it seems like I'm overusing the word creepy, it's not just because I don't have access to a thesaurus like everyone else with a smartphone. It's because there is simply no other word that will do. I shake myself like Oscar does after his bath. It's not like me to be so negative, and I'm determined to snap out of it. I take a deep breath and open the car door. The house is probably adorable on the inside. Mom wouldn't have rented a place that didn't have some redeeming qualities. I reach into the back seat and grab the crate that holds our cat, Lex Luthor. Then I take out my phone and hold it up, taking a picture of me, Lex, and the house in the background, and I text it to Ashley. We promised each other we wouldn't grow apart, even with me living up here in Washington and her back in Texas. I mean, we've been best friends since 2nd grade. If our friendship could survive the middle school clickiness it faced a few years ago, I'm pretty sure it can survive a few thousand miles. My Chuck Taylors crunch over the gravel driveway as I make my way to the front door. Mom and Oscar are already inside. It might be August, but that doesn't stop Ridgemont from being cold. Colder than Austin is at Christmas time. And unfortunately, I'm still wearing the ripped-up denim shorts I put on before we left our motel in Boise, Idaho this morning. The brightly colored Mustang on Mom's old high school t-shirt, my favorite shirt these days, looks out of place in the fog, the opposite of camouflage. I hover in the doorway. "Mom?" I shout. No answer. Just the squeak of a screen door on its hinges while I hold it open. Then the whistle of a gust of wind from behind me like it's trying to push me inside. "Mom," I repeat. Finally, I shout her full name. Catherine Marie Griffith. She hates when I call her by her first name, though she claims it has nothing to do with the fact that I'm adopted. We've never made a big deal about it. Never had some big talk where my mother, revealed the news to me. The truth is, I don't remember a time when I didn't know. There are moments when I wonder who my birth parents are and why they gave me up. But even Mom doesn't know those details. She was a pediatric nurse at the hospital in Austin, where I was found. Left swaddled in the emergency room. No parents, no paperwork, no nothing. And once she got her hands on me, she says, she knew she was never going to let me go. We were meant for each other, she'd say.